City of the Dead. Hidden in the heart of New Orleans' French Quarter, St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is more than a burial ground. It is a walled city of spirits. Established in 1789 to replace the older St. Peter Cemetery, it sits on swampy soil where traditional underground graves were impossible. Instead, builders created above-ground tombs and vaults that rise like tiny stone houses, forming a labyrinth of narrow alleyways and weathered facades. Visitors who pass through the wrought iron gate feel the shift immediately. The air thickens with a damp, earthy scent of moss and stone. Sunlight struggles to reach the crooked passages where marble crypts lean precariously after centuries of flooding and hurricanes. Faded inscriptions whisper of yellow fever epidemics, duels, and untimely deaths, each name a fragment of New Orleans history. Early records reveal that this cemetery welcomed a mix of cultures: French, Spanish, African, and Creole, reflecting the city's diverse heritage. But the melting pot of faiths and folklore also bred superstition. Stories soon spread of flickering lights at dusk, phantom music drifting from Bourbon Street, and mourners who felt a cold hand on the shoulder, though no one was there. By the mid-1800s, locals already called it the City of the Dead, convinced that the spirits of the departed walked as freely as the living. Today, tourists enter only on guided tours, yet many say the sense of watchful eyes never fades. St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is both a historic landmark and a place where the veil between worlds feels unervingly thin, a silent prelude to the legends that haunt its maze of tombs. Queen of Voodoo Marie Laveau. No figure looms larger in the cemetery's lore than Marie Laveau, the celebrated and feared Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. Born in 1801, Laveau was a free woman of color, a devout Catholic, and a powerful practitioner of voodoo. Her ceremonies blended African spiritual traditions with Catholic saints, drawing crowds that included politicians, soldiers, and society elites seeking love charms, healing, or protection. When she died in 1881, thousands attended her funeral, yet many swore she never truly left. Her family's crypt, a tall, whitewashed tomb streaked by humidity, quickly became the cemetery's most visited site. For decades, visitors have marked 3 red X symbols on the stone, believing it would persuade Marie to grant a wish. Despite repeated cleanings, new X's always appear, as though her influence cannot be erased. Countless stories tell of sudden warm gusts of air near the tomb even on cool days, or of a soft humming voice when no one else is present. Some visitors feel their hair tugged gently, as if by unseen fingers. Tour guides recount tourists collapsing from a strange dizziness that vanishes as soon as they step away. Paranormal investigators have captured whispers in Creole on digital recorders and unexplained electromagnetic surges surrounding her crypt. Many locals leave offerings: candles, coins, rum, beads, hoping for blessings or protection. Skeptics may scoff, but the tradition continues, a testament to Marie's enduring power. Whether saint or sorceress, she remains the cemetery's central spirit, a figure who blurs the boundary between religion and magic, life and death. To stand before her tomb is to feel a presence that seems at once welcoming and commanding, as though the Voodoo Queen herself still watches over her beloved New Orleans. Spirits of tragedy and war. Marie Laveau is not the only restless soul said to linger here. The cemetery holds victims of yellow fever epidemics, sailors lost to storms, and duelists whose final disputes ended in blood. Among the most reported apparitions is a Confederate soldier, described as a tall man in a tattered gray uniform. Visitors have seen him pacing silently along the narrow aisles, musket in hand, before vanishing into thin air. Another frequent account involves a mysterious caretaker spirit. Dressed in an old-fashioned top hat and dark coat, he is known to guide late-night wanderers back toward the entrance, only to disappear the moment someone tries to thank him. Some believe he was a 19th-century sexton devoted to protecting the grounds even after death. Musicians from the nearby French Quarter have claimed to hear faint funeral dirges when the cemetery is empty, as though an invisible brass band plays for an eternal second-line parade. Tour guides speak of sudden pockets of icy air and the distant echo of footsteps following close behind, especially near the oldest family vaults where names have been worn smooth by time. Historians note that New Orleans has endured fires, floods, and waves of disease, each tragedy adding layers of grief to these walls. Paranormal researchers suggest that such concentrated emotion may imprint itself on the environment, replaying fragments of the past like a looping record. Whether that theory explains the Confederate soldier, the phantom caretaker, or the ghostly music, visitors consistently describe a sense of being observed by many unseen residents. These stories remind every traveler that St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is not merely a tourist attraction. It is a chronicle of heartbreak and resilience, where history and haunting exist side by side. Modern investigations and eerie evidence. Because of its dark reputation, the cemetery has become a favorite destination for paranormal investigators and documentary crews. Teams arrive with night vision cameras, thermal imagers, and electromagnetic field detectors, hoping to capture the phenomena that countless visitors have described for generations. One crew from a national television show reported sudden drops of nearly 20 degrees in a sealed mausoleum while their instruments spiked wildly. Digital recorders picked up low murmurs in French and Creole when no one else was nearby. Another group witnessed camera batteries draining within minutes, a common claim among ghost hunters who believe spirits draw energy from electronics. Even daytime tour groups encounter the unexplained. Guides speak of guests feeling a light brush on the arm or hearing their name whispered softly behind them. Photographs often reveal bright, spherical orbs of light or misty shapes that were invisible to the naked eye. Some skeptics attribute these to humidity and dust motes, yet experienced photographers insist many of the images defy simple explanation. The city has imposed restrictions to protect the fragile tombs, limiting access to guided tours only. Yet the phenomena persist, occurring in front of groups and cameras alike. Investigators argue that the cemetery's unique blend of history, cultural rituals, and emotional intensity may create an environment ripe for paranormal activity. Whether these findings prove the existence of spirits or simply showcase the power of suggestion, each investigation deepens the mystery. For many visitors, the most haunting evidence is not a photograph or recording but the unmistakable feeling, part awe, part dread, that the dead are aware of the living. The eternal allure. Today, St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 stands as both a historic monument and a living legend. Preservationists work tirelessly to protect its delicate tombs from the relentless Louisiana humidity, while tour guides weave stories that blend documented history with supernatural lore. Each year, thousands of travelers walk its narrow paths, some seeking connection with the city's vibrant past, others hoping for a glimpse of the beyond. By daylight, the marble vaults gleam beneath the southern sun, their cracked surfaces draped with Spanish moss and bright Mardi Gras beads left as offerings. But as dusk settles, shadows stretch across the crooked alleys, and the air grows heavy with the scent of damp stone. Locals say that's when the veil between worlds thins, when Marie Laveau and countless unnamed spirits stir. Visitors often leave with more than photographs. Some speak of vivid dreams in the nights that follow, others of a lingering sense that something or someone followed them home. Whether these experiences are supernatural or psychological, they keep the legend alive. The cemetery is now a protected landmark, yet its power remains untamed. It embodies New Orleans itself, a city of music and mourning, faith and magic, life and death interwoven. Standing at the gate as the evening mist rolls in, one feels the irresistible pull of a place where the past refuses to be silent. St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 invites the brave and the curious alike to listen. And for those who do, it offers a single, unforgettable lesson. In New Orleans, the dead are never truly gone. They are simply waiting to be heard.